there, I'm John Byrne with Poets and Quants. Welcome to our series on the inside story from the MBA admission Gatekeepers, sponsored by Fortuna Admissions. And today to talk about how to get into Kellogg or Chicago Booth, two of the great schools in and around Chicago, we have someone who knows all about these two institutions from Fortuna. Her name is Julia Brady. Julia was a director at Kellogg, a senior associate dean at the University of Chicago, and has an MBA from Booth. Now she's a director at Fortuna. Welcome.
Yeah, so thank you.
So Julia, give us a few words about your experience at Booth and Kellogg.
Got my MBA through the full-time program at Chicago Booth back when it was still GSB. So that brought me to Chicago. And as a student, I actually got involved with admissions. I was involved with the Dean Student Admissions Committee, which as my second year, I was one of the interviewers. So I was very closely involved in the selection process, even as a student.
Right.
And then when I was working for PepsiCo, I recruited Booth students there.
Oh.
But while at Pepsi, I was approached by Kellogg to become managing director of the Chicago campus programs, which encompass the part-time MBA program.
So what are these schools really looking for?
Authenticity as a candidate. And so many schools will talk about, there's an interest in diversity of candidates. But when you're thinking about, again, what you're going to bring to the program, really unpack your intellectual interests, your background, your professional goals, and think about, again, how that is going to impact the student experience for others at a place like Kellogg.
Right.
And so at Chicago Booth, they are going to really look for students, for prospects who have already kind of put themselves out there, put themselves in, some unique situations where they've been able to, whether it's kind of take a tough stance or do something unique that has made an impact to their organization or the world around them.
Now, when I think about these two schools, I also think about some significant differences. Booth is heavier into finance than Kellogg is. Kellogg is heavier into consulting than Booth is. Of course, Kellogg is very well known for its expertise in the field of marketing. From your standpoint, how are these programs different from each other and frankly different from other top MBA programs?
At Chicago Booth, the culture of intellectual curiosity really permeates all facets of the MBA experience. Kellogg, where also, again, top tier academics, I'd say a way that they probably differ a little more is their focus on values.
Right.
This culture of kind of integrity, even if there is a potential cost, a political cost, or something or temporary reputational cost, but doing what's right.
Booth core curriculum is very flexible, among the most flexible of all the elite business schools. And Kellogg has a more of you go through it as a cohort. You don't really skip any of the core courses. Are there other curriculum differences?
One thing that strikes me, and this has really grown at Booth over the years, is their focus on behavioral economics and sort of how that shapes decision making. And whereas then at Kellogg, and an area that I've seen of strength that they've grown in terms of academics has been their approach to entrepreneurship. And recognizing that if you're interested in sort of innovation or entrepreneurship, there's not just one path. So it may be that, okay, I want to be the next, Mark Zuckerberg, but more realistically, there's a number of students that might wish to get involved at that, what they call the growth and scaling phase. So want to have this broader skill set that will enable them to either join or potentially acquire a growth stage company. And then there's the corporate innovation piece as well.
Now, how can a candidate show the admissions committee at either school that you're really motivated to go and do well?
Yes. Well, fast forward to what that student experience is going to be like and being able to articulate what you'll add to the classroom. So the fact maybe that you have, you've worked abroad, or that, as we've worked with occasionally candidates that are executive MBA, so they've had full careers before getting their MBA. One physician that I've worked with this year, she has helped others learn and acquire new knowledge. And that's going to be a great skill that she's going to bring to that EMBA classroom to help students that have not, that it's been 10, 15 years since they've last engaged academically. So sort of think about that, because I think that's going to help you stand out and sort of, and go that extra mile in ways that you'll really add to the culture and community.
Terrific. Now, Julia, do you have any other final words of advice for candidates?
I keep, advising people I work with to really dig deep and present your authentic self. And so being able to really think about, well, this is what makes me special. This is what drives me. This is what's allowed me to accomplish these things so far. And what I envision for my future impact, not just at this school, but in society or globally, if that's something that the school is interested in. So I think discerning admissions officers will see that. They will appreciate that. And so kind of taking that time to reflect, and if needed, have thought partners help you do that, is incredibly valuable.
Great. Now, Julia, how can candidates reach you?
Really, the best way, and where we advise candidates to start, is to sign up for a free consultation. And you can do that on our website, fortunaadmissions.com. And then that's where you can understand where we might be able to best help you. And then from there, gauge fit with the particular admissions coach that you might work with.
Sounds good. Julia, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me today.
All right. You've been watching and listening to Julia Brady on how to get into Kellogg or Chicago booth. Two great schools, both in the M7. And this is all part of our series sponsored by Fortuna Admissions called The Inside Story from the MBA Admission Gatekeepers. This is John Byrne with Poets and Quants. Thanks for watching.